Hello, my most amazing artists. I can probably guess what you're thinking right now. Oh, the Grinch! Yes, so we are going to do a Grinch draw with me today. So I'm going to teach you to draw the Grinch. Don't forget, anytime you need to pause or rewind the video, please do so. I'm sure you guys know this story, so we are going to talk about the illustrations. All of the illustrations done in this book were done with pen and ink. Now, Dr. Seuss, whose real name was Theodore Geisel, he probably drew these out with pencil first and then went over them with ink. So he had an ink pen that he dipped in a well of ink, and then he drew these beautiful expressive lines with it. I'll see if I can get mine working and show you how that works later. Now, one thing you'll notice about this book is there's not a whole lot of color. It's mostly black and white. There is red and pink. So why? Why aren't these pictures in full color? Why don't we have a green Christmas tree? Why don't we have yellow in the lights, you know? There's a very good reason. Let's see if I can find when this book was first published. It's usually at the front. There's usually publishing information. Okay, so let's see. So this book was first done in 1957, way back when color printing was extremely expensive. So every time you did a picture, you first had to print the black, then you'd have to print the red, then you'd have to print the green, then you'd have to print the yellow. And all of these running through printing presses cost a lot of money. Nowadays, they can run it through one time and print all the colors, but they didn't have the technology to do that back then. So, in order to keep book costs down, especially for children's books, the author would oftentimes only get one or two colors to play with for the illustrations. So here you see red and pink, and this might just be part of the red that just wasn't done as strongly, so it might still be just one pass with the printers. All right, so we are actually going to draw this picture right here together, and you'll see it's pretty easy to draw the Grinch. We're going to talk about some of this texturing and hatching and cross-hatching too that we can do with our crayon. So here we go. What you're going to need is some paper, and I'm just going to use a yellow piece of paper because that's what I've got. You can use any piece you want. And you're going to need a pencil, or I'm going to use a green crayon. And my crayon's not very sharp. You can sharpen crayons and pencil sharpeners, but don't sharpen them in wall-mounted sharpeners or electric sharpeners because the wax can get really gummed up in those kind of sharpeners. So let's begin. All right, one of the most frustrating things for any artist, new artist, old artist, young artist, in-between artists, is where to place things on the paper. A lot of times we make things too small, we make them too big, we make them too far to the right, too far to the left. So part of this draw with me is how to fold the paper to keep everything in line. So we're gonna fold it my favorite way, like a birthday card. We do this a lot. Hamburger fold, and then open it. Okay, now right underneath your fold line, you're gonna put your hand, because you want this to be pretty big, and you're going to make two marks on either side of your hand. This is how wide we're going to make our Grinch's grin. So we're going to draw a C on one side, not quite a C, but a curvy line, and one on the other. Then we want these lines to come down in a really skinny neck, because the Grinch has a skinny neck. So I'm going to come down. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then all the way to the bottom. Okay, so there's the bottom of your Grinch face. Now the top of your Grinch, the top of his face is smaller than the bottom. So if you'll put your hand back here, we're gonna use our crayon and draw above our fingers and then down, just like so. And this helps us keep things the right size and the right shape, and just connect it just like that. Even if it doesn't connect up just right, that's fine. All right, you have the main part of your Grinch now. So now we're gonna do his face, which is very, you know, he's got that Grinchy smile. So right here, we're gonna do a smile line coming up just like that. And then skip a little bit and come down. Then we're gonna do a curved line for his mouth, just like that. Then a little line underneath for his lip. And he has a little, almost like an animal has that little indentation on his top lip. So I'm not sure what animal the Grinch is. He's not human. Okay, at the top of his face is his little Grinchy nose, and it's not very big. And then we're gonna do his eyes. He has evil red or pink eyes in the book. So we want one eye to come up, curve, and go over. The other one to come up, curve, and go the opposite way. Then we're gonna round it out and bring it back up. Round it out, bring it back up. And there's his evil eyes. All right, so for his pupils, they are just U's. U, U. Ta-da! Now, he has got some crazy hair. So at the top, you can kind of have fun with this. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna just make some little loop-de-loop kind of hairs here. And then I'm gonna go back and make them look thick by drawing a line right next to them. See how I'm doing that? There you go. He has some very expressive eyebrows, and he almost has a unibrow. It starts right here in the middle, so put two lines right there in the middle, and then we're just going to draw these lines by putting your crayon down and flicking it up. And that's gonna give you some pretty natural looking hair. Put your crayon down, push, and flick it up. Just like that, and his eyebrow hair can stick off the side of his face if you want. He's also got some kind of wrinkles. And these eyebrows kind of come a little bit farther down. Yes. He's got a little wrinkle by his nose. He's got some little wrinkles under his eyes here. And he's got shading, so I'm just gonna add some extra shading here where you can kind of see his fur a little bit. So I'm just basically drawing fur. I'm not gonna draw it over here because he's got brightness over here, so it wouldn't really be seen that much. All right, now for the very last part, friends, we gotta color those eyes red. Oh, he is looking very Grinchy. And the whole time I was doing this, I was looking at the picture on the front of the book. And I'll tell you, artists copy other artists. That's how you learn. You will go on to make many original works of art, but you will also learn by copying. All right, friends. That is the Grinchiest looking Grinch I've ever drawn. There we go. All right. Have a Merry Christmas.